Alright, g'day guys. Welcome to another um, live build. Um, so what's happened is I basically went to work this morning and it's been raining all night. Yeah, so we got sent home early, so it's good. So I can't do anything outside. Um, 'Cause it's raining and wet and muddy, so I thought I'd stay in and get stuck into this. Yeah, so the second, I think yesterday's video, I think you were watching. I was going to do some of this. Well, not yesterday, the day before. I think it was. Yeah, the day before yesterday. And anyway, going through the paints with Paul Bretlin, and it turned out that I didn't have the colour that I wanted. But going through, just go just all this stuff. Zoom out a little bit just to start off with. Yeah, so just going through this Air Combat Collection magazine that I've had for many years, just those partwork things, and just studying the colours carefully and looking at the SU-30 and the SU-35 over here. The colours are very similar, so what I've done is I've gone through my entire paint range, and I was going to use enamels, and so what I ended up with was XF58 flat blue for the very the darkest blue on the plane here. I don't know if you can see, it might be a little bit blurry. Yeah, so just here, the dark blue, and what I've done, I just matched it. I normally put the paint on top of my caps here. I sort of lined it up next to it, and and it's pretty close. And then for the, I guess it's the medium, or the medium blue that's on here, I'm using Game Colors Steel Grey. And for the very light blue, I'm using Life Colors Bright Blue. So that turned out really well, so I'll give these a go. And let's see if I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some crappy old paper. Right. So I'm just going to grab some crappy old paper. I've got the window open behind, big window open up the back there, so any fumes would hopefully should just disappear. Where is it? My time safe. I'm just thinking about everyone that's overseas at the moment. I think they'll most probably be asleep, so which is why I didn't send out any invites. Probably later tonight. Yeah, so this is all the pre-shading done. I'll just talk a bit about it before I keep going. So that's all the pre-shading done. I've blocked all the leaning gear bays with some paper towel. So I just blocked it in there, and then anything overspray I can just touch up with a brush. Like I think anything that gets in there will just be minor anyway. And I've just pre-shaded all the missile pylons there, weapon pylons. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with, and I'm going to use this as a reference because I really don't screw this up. I've only got one shot at this because I've pre-shaded it. So I think I'm going to go with a medium blue. So just give this a really good shake. So this paint's going to be really, really thick, so I'm going to have to thin this out. So what I'll do is I'll just spray the bottom, and then I'll leave, like I won't turn it over because it is, I just don't want to disturb the paint. And then I've also been watching the Google Plus Hangouts that I've been doing lately. When I did put this thing down, I actually did start a Metallery, what was it, a Tornado 1:48 scale. So that's that's what you can see in the background there. What do I do with these other paints? I can mix them up. So that's everything I need for the SU over there. I'm just giving this a really good shake because I haven't used this for a while. Especially spraying it through an airbrush, I want to shake mix up really, really well. I don't want any chunky bits coming out of the nozzle, the eyedropper. So all right. So I was just painting something before. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some thinner, layer thinner. I'm just going to douse a couple of drops in here. You can always go a bit extra because then what you just spray a bit out. Now I'm just going to hope the nozzle's not blocked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just twist and stir. Just another plastic. Don't know what this is. We got it from somewhere. Something. I thought, well, it's not going to scratch the inside of the hopper, so. If you want, stick your thumb over it. Give it a shake, but make sure you hold it tight so you can let go. The paint's going to go everywhere, and then what you do is just heaps of pressure down the cup, pull your finger back. That'll screed most of the paint off your thumb, and should keep the airbrush still pretty clean. And I've just got this on maximum pressure too on this one, so you don't want to be able to spray from a distance, but very light passes. So if I can move the camera around for you. Just zoom in a bit. Now the airbrush, the compressor's going to start kick on soon. So. Right, so Just constantly checking the probably go a little bit thinner too, because I don't want a thick layer of paint, you could say. I want it very thin and transparent, and if it means I've got to do maybe two coats, I'd rather do that than just have one thick one and it's game over. There goes all your panel lines, and you're gonna have to pretty much do it again. But then, yeah, you almost have to strip the whole thing down and do it again. If you try to put more paint over it, all the panel lines are gonna disappear. So just check the spray again. That's better. I can hear it now. Like what you want to be doing is you don't want to just be going just one big thick coat. Just work the paint over. Work it lightly. You're not trying to put a really nice, even, not even, well, you're not trying to, yeah, you're just getting really, really light, but just keeping an eye on the panel lines. You want them to be just subtle, and then you've also got to put in consideration that you're also going to have other layers of blue going on top. So at this stage, you just want it light. And don't really worry about too much up here, because that's where your grey, this is going to be grey, the actual, this part here, so I don't want to cover that up. I want the grey to do the work on that part of the plane. Let's pick this up. Now I want it to be a misty coat as well. That's why I've got the pressure up so high. I'm trying to diffuse the paint, atomize the paint as much as I can. So, which is why I've got the pressure up high. Normally, I'd be spraying around about 22, somewhere between 22 to 25 psi. Like this one, I've just got it cranked up to about, I think, 50 or something like that, 50 or 60 psi. Just keep going over patches where you think you might have missed. Just keep on, just on and off the button. Slowly see that the panel lines start to fade compared to that on the other side. So just quickly spin around from that to that, so you can see the difference. So it's probably going to need some more paint, but I'm just going to let this dry a bit. Being a very cold and wet day here, the paint's taking normally just a little bit longer to dry. If you want to speed it up, you can have a hairdryer or something handy, or a heat gun, a variable temperature heat gun. That's why you can use a normal heat gun, but just have one that's variable temperature as well. Oops. Right. I'm just going to let that Let this paint dry a little bit. Just going to run this gun down so it's empty. And just keep looking around. I just want to work in slowly. Take your time with it. You just got to be really light on, like really light on the trigger. Don't even be pulling back, like maximum paint. Just if you're barely pulling. Well, I'm barely pulling back on the trigger. Just the tiny bits of paint comes out. So starting to come out nice. So we'll let this dry for a couple of minutes. Yeah, so we'll just hang. There's really not much we can do because we're live. It's not like I can shut the camera off and come back later and go, oh, this is how it turned out. So just get this brush top clean. Just a bit of my hungry things I got here. Alright. What I'm going to do now while it's just sitting there, just going to dump a bit of tiny bit of thinner in the cup. So any paint, I haven't fully given that airbrush a full flush out yet, so any paint is not going to go hard in the tip there. And so while we're waiting, copy. Oops. And go. Yeah, I'm just going to, while it's drying, I'm just going to share this video, or share the link on the ISM Facebook page. So you may even get a guest, and it could be anyone. I think it's another one. Alright. So the link's up. Yeah, surprisingly, this kit has actually gone together quite quickly, and for 1 to 72 Warbird, or it's in part of the Warbird series, for 1 to 72 playing, this thing is huge. Like I normally think of 1 to 72 as, you know, something that's like 15 centimeters, 15 to 20 centimeters long. This thing's over 32 from tail boom to nose, right around about 320 mil. And that's quite a big plane. So what I'll do in a minute, once I've rolled this smooth, So what I'll do is behind me is an old F16 1-48 that I've had for years. It's been sitting in my shelf of doom, like just sitting there. I don't know if I haven't touched any of that. So you can see this probably needs a full respray. This is what I know now, what I know what I learned here then. It's just, this thing's pretty rough. So this is probably more of a practice build now. So yeah, you can see like side by side, and I'm not cheating anyway, like trying to get this plane closer to make it bigger or smaller. It's pretty hard to get these in shot. Hang on. I can get. Yeah, so that's the SU-34, and that is the F16 1-48. And like looking at it there, this actually looks smaller. But if and I'm to prove I'm not trying to like trick you or anything like that, I'm gonna put these rulers hard up against the back of each plane. Right, so they're both touching this ruler, so they're square. How do I make? I'm just going to show you the front. Another ruler here. I can't even see it. I'll stand nose to nose. Yeah, so you can see, like this thing is bigger, like it's, so building this thing is like building a 1-48 F16. So I've actually managed to hopefully sort out all the backwards issues I've been having with the camera, and I think it's just a matter of adjusting the webcam settings, because I'm actually using a Logitech, was it a C90 I think it is, C920 webcam. Yeah, it's a really good webcam. It's, I think I paid about 100. No, it's would have been about $90 I think for it, and it takes great pictures, like stills. So just carefully, because yeah, like it might be dry to touch, but still, it's just funny because this weather's pretty wet today, a lot of humid, a lot of moisture in the air, so I'm going to give this a bit of time to dry. Like it is, it's only what was this stuff? It's only a game color, so game color dries pretty quick, and because it is a game color, it's got more, and it's made for war gaming. So there's a bit medium. They use, I think there's more resins or something in the paint. I read somewhere, or some kind of hardener, which makes the paint more durable, which is why the paint's so thick compared to your Model Airs and your model color. So it should actually give a nice working surface to paint off. So I'll probably just leave it at that for the time being, because I want to just do a test spray with all the rest of the colours that I put on, and so that way, if I need to go to do touch-ups and that to cover it up, I can just, yeah, it'll give me that option to spray over it later instead of just doing like one nice coat now and that's it, it's done. But I think, yeah, it's just the way I paint is just very different, and everyone's different, I guess. You know, like I'll talk to some modelers and they say do this, I paint like this, I paint like that. And you talk to some other bloke and they'll go, well, I'll do it this way and this way, and then the results are all the same. At the end of the day, it's like miniature painters as well. They paint differently. Some will base coat their models and they will work their highlights up all the way, edge highlighting and everything, and then and at the very end they'll wash it. But where I'll actually wash the model at the start to actually see where the to see where the recesses are, and it really just makes a model pop at the start, so you know where to highlight. And then I might just give it and then highlight it up, and then towards the end I'll just and then I'll just give it a really light watered down wash just to sort of tone it back down a bit. That's the way you teach yourself, so don't let anybody tell you that you have to paint a certain way. It's all how you feel comfortable as a modeler to paint. But by all means, you know, like obviously pick things that other people do, and then sort of incorporate within that within yourself. So always just, you know, I guess pick the good things that you like. Yes. Righto. So we're gonna spray the rest of this out. Now I've just got the tornado lights here. Spray all this glue out. I'm just going to something in there, not too much. So I've got about 1/3 of a cup in here of thinner, and I've already thinned this game colour just a little bit. So I'm not going to actually blow back while the paint's still thick in there. I'm just going to see something. Controls. So just give it a mix. And then general rule with airbrushing is consistency of milk. So you can imagine just putting some full cream milk in your hopper on your airbrush, and you sort of give it a stir. That's what you're trying to achieve. But because I'm spraying it in such a light coat, it's I want it actually thinner than that. So now that I've got it stirred through, I'll just give it a little blowback. So I don't want the I stirred it up to begin with, so I don't want the hard or the thick paint to go back in the gun. I want it thin. So just carefully bubbling. And you'll get the hang of it after a while. It gets a lot easier. It's all daunting to begin with. Whenever I first started Airbrush, it was so daunting. It's like, oh, it's tricky. I'm just checking the paint as well. I'm very careful too when I'm spraying around the cockpit. You sort of see where the gaps are. You don't want to be spraying in the holes if there are any holes. Sort of spray it so the paint sort of sprays away from the hole or over it. So once again, just holding it fair way back. I've got to pull the trigger back just a little bit too far to get the paint out, so you know it's too thick. More thin in there. Just let it bubble. You just see it bubbling there in the camera. Right, So we'll try again. It's easier. And you start to know how thin the paint is. Obviously, the further you pull the trigger back, the more paint comes out. So realistically, if the paint's nice and thin, it'll come out the needle, out of the end of the airbrush really easily. I just give a spray out every now and then to clean the tip. But if you've got to pull back just that little bit too much, know that the paint's thick, and you've got to open up the needle, pull the needle back further so the hole's bigger. And yeah, and that way you'll know that it's just too thick. I'm just going to have a look what that is. Yeah, so Ben Jones just commented on Facebook. He's just basically said, over in Perth, it's still work time. But obviously, I've explained at the start of the video, it's been rained out, so just checking everything. You can go lighter. So before, stick your finger in the hopper, just shake up, pull back tight, here's the pressure here, scraping the paint off your thumb, and then what you should end up with is hardly paint on your thumb. Okay. If you're curious what airbrush I'm using a Wata Neo. It's got a 0.3 needle in it, so it's more or less my general purpose airbrush. I use my Sparmax, what is it, SP-35. It's got a 0.2 needle in it, so I pretty much use that for my detail work, spray my miniatures. Yeah, because if you spray too close, when you get a thick line, if you pull back with the trigger, it's smaller than this, you can barely see the paint hitting the paper, and that's what I want. I don't want a really thick or opaque layer of paint. I still want it quite transparent. So just remember, like we did on the bottom here, you don't smash the layer down too thick. You can see that it's still very dark in some places, especially over the wings. So just take your time, guys. Don't need to rush it. It's about having fun and just relaxing. use a card just to stop it from spraying out over the table. You know, 2/3 this time, keep small. You know. Another trick you want to mix your paint. Just get an old pipette. Just give it a good clean, make sure there's no crack inside. All you want to do is you stick your pipette in there. Clean. You just suck. And the actual action of it going in and out the pipette will mix the paint. And you squirt it out, it'll give you an idea on how thick the paint is. It's a bit thick. So, if you've got too much paint, suck a bit out. Turn it upside down. Leave it in there. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's absolutely pouring down outside, which is really, really good because we do need the rain. So, if you guys living in Australia down under, you know how dry it's been lately. Government's actually started handing out drought relief to all the farmers and that over here. So it's good that we get this rain. Okay, it's not going to be flooding rain where we've had in the past. Because when it floods here at home, yeah, I normally can't go anywhere for at least a week. So just need this bit of card again. Okay. Now that we're getting towards the end of the first layer, just going to pick it up and just inspect the model. So just have a look at it from a distance. And anything that's still too dark, just spray in that area. Like, you don't want to redo the whole model, just go over bits here and there. Just let this here see it dry again. You need to have some kind of aircraft gimbal there so I can actually pick it up and spray. Just put it down to dry. But because I haven't touched the paint of the nose. Another light spray. Side here. Yeah, so I'll zoom out. So you can see it's still quite dark, so I'm just going to leave it there for a little bit. Get a nice brown top. It's very dark in the cockpit area and the tail. Because most of this paint is thinner, and there's not much paint in there. So I need to dry quite thin, so it might seem like I'm putting a lot of paint on the model. But a lot of it's just thinner and that just evaporates, dries up. It's just the paint and the pigment that's on there. Okay, just do this. Alright, so clean up. Proper wipe. Screw it. Just a couple of drops. I'm just going to leave that near the airbrush as normal. So that's what we're looking at so far. So we're going to have a look. So you can see, okay, this is a very good example. I haven't really painted the nose, so you can see how dark it was to begin with. and this, because it's live, I'm not cutting out any footage. This is why I've chosen to do a lot of the live videos now. The clarity may not be as good as the other cameras I've been using, but it gives you more of an idea of technique and process. So yeah, have a good look at this, and you can tell. So from there, which is the front, where I haven't touched, and all around here, you see it's starting to disappear, but it's still there. And that's what you want with pre-shading. I'm just going to squiz at the painting guide. I'm going to go with the darker one because I want the darker cockpit. Where this other option, you've got a lighter. It's actually lighter around, like all around here, right behind where the cockpit's going to be. Behind it's going to be lighter. I want the darker version. And all around here is going to be like a black, black, like a flat black. So I'm going to have to mask all that off. The nose will be done last, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint on the camouflage, and I'm leaving all this so I can, it's a bit of leeway, something I can hold on to, because it doesn't matter if any of the blue rubs off slightly, because I can always, it's going to be painted grey anyway, so, but try not to touch it too much, and then that way once all the camouflage is done, I can spray a couple of coats of Pledge Future Shine over it, seal all the paint in, and then that way when I do mask it up, it's not going to, fingers crossed, I've let the paint or the primer's been sitting on there for at least a week now, I think. Must be a week. So it's had plenty of time to dry, so hopefully the tape won't pull it off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use very low tack masking tape, and I'm going to use some carefully apply some Umbral mask oil on there, the liquid mask, latex mask, and I'll use that as a mask to spread the nose. Now just have a look at the camouflage scheme. You can see that's the look I'm going for on the top. So that the very dark parts is going to be that Tamiya XF8, which is their dark blue, I believe it is. Was it XF? Flat blue, but it's still quite a dark blue without being dark blue itself. And then the very light patches is going to be that light blue. I'll just double check. XF1 18, so that's 18. 18 is medium blue with white, so it is that green. So I might actually mix that up. So what I might do is I'll just do a test mix on a palette to see what the actual color is, and if I don't like it, then I can just paint straight over it. Or not paint straight over it. If I don't like it, I can just adjust the colors and write down. And make sure always take notes too. When you're mixing colors, always blue. How about I paint XF18? Let's have a look. XF18, which is that with, what's that? It's asking to mix. What is it? 18 with XF1. So one part black with medium blue. So that's going to give me a real dark, dirty color. which I don't want. I want it to be a brighter colour. So that's, yeah, which I don't know. That's definitely new. I'm just going to try something here. Let me try and get okay, so I'm going to try and mix these are Tamiya paints too in these dropper bottles. So okay, just get the palette in shot so you can see what I'm doing. I'll try and zoom in. Hopefully it won't be too distorted, it won't be too pixelated. So I'm just going to put a drop here. Should I get rid of this? Just leave this in here. Just going to screw it back in there. So that paint I had in that eyedropper before, that pipette, just squirted it back straight in the bowl, like it's I'm not worried about cross contamination because I've already cleaned the pipette out before, and the paint cut was pretty clean, so it doesn't matter if the paint's a little bit thin. A bit thinner in there, it's not going to hurt it because it's still thick flocking anyway, even for brush painting. Like I'll still thin the paint out, so it doesn't really matter if your paint's a bit thin. So just leaving the paper towel dry. And what I'm going to do is one drop here. I'm going to separate it a bit, just put a bit of distance, and then just a cruddy old paintbrush. Get it down a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a cup and just with a makeup remover, wipe out this shot glass. Wherever it is, just got some X20A that I've actually put in an old the Vallejo old airbrush thinner, but I've actually written down X20A all over it, so I know it's X20A. You know how what a pain in the bum it is to try and get X20A out of their standard bottle. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit in the bottom there and wipe out the excess because I did have some Tamiya's airbrush cleaning fluid in there, which is very potent stuff. So just try to get rid of any of that residue that's left in there. Okay, so a little bit in there. See, I haven't got much in the bottom there, just a bit. Okay, so that, and just take the excess. And make it loose. Keep mixing it till we get get more of the green, it's going to be dark green. I'm not going to bother about it. Use, we'll use the rest of the airbrush, the X28, to clean the brush out a bit. Doesn't hurt it. Right, so that's a fail. That's just experimenting. Right, so we can come back. Zoom out just a tiny bit. And then what I'm going to do now get rid of these paints. And spray out the rest of the something's going on. Okay, something weird is happening to this airbrush. That's spread it good. It's going to be crud in the bottom here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to change airbrushes. And just going to give another quick flush. That didn't like whatever was in there. Just bear with me for a minute, guys. I'll be back in a second. Alright, so change guns. So a quick change. Alright, so what I'm going to do is adjust the max valve on this. actually adjust the pressure on the tank itself. Yeah, so the good thing about these mini water traps too, so if you live in a country with high humidity, highly recommend getting a mini water trap on your gun as well, because sometimes the water trap that's on the compressor itself normally isn't good enough to stop moisture traveling through the hose as well. And then if it goes through, it starts building up in your hose, and it does come to gun, you get all the splattering effects, and it starts messing up your paint job. So I do recommend. Also, it's because of the little valve down the bottom here that dumps all the water out, the moisture out. It acts as the emergency air dump as well. So while you're dusting your airflow, and you can on your compressor, you can just go, yeah, and just dump it out real quick. So why is it still doing that? The pressure's still way too high. Down. So it should be right now. Right. Cook with gas. I might do the dark color, and that way I can blend the light color into it. So, with X28 through here. What I'm also going to do is take that needle cover off it. Being that you do that, be very careful that you don't drop your airbrush or bang the needle, because the needle's exposed. There's no guard on it. I'm pretty sure these Tamiya paints are pretty thin. So I'm just going to... Okay. I'll do is put this cap back on. Spray. The card. Check the spray pattern. It's a little too thin. Crappy brush. Stir. Checking again. This paint's going to be quite thin as well, so You still be able to see the crocheting underneath as well. Don't forget that. Yeah, you just keep in mind that. Okay. Just hang on a sec. Checking that. Right. So I'm just looking at the painting plans. Instructions, and yeah, it's not exact. Close so I can really define the lines. That one. Yeah, so she's Sebastian, Dutch modeling, commented on Facebook. He says he's still at work. And I'm basically rubbing it in. It's like, I'm already finished. So this next part is going to be a little bit here. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing on that back wing. So we've got, so right on that circle, there's an arch. Turn the plane way down so I'm seeing the same way as well. So it's around from the gun port. Just carefully laying the paint on because pull back on the trigger too much, it's game over. See how thin those lines are going on. Oops. So that's that part there, that's that. I'm just using the just the marks, lines on the model and the drawings to basically work out where the lines need to go. So all I'm doing is I'm just drawing so that's basically, that's going to be white anyway, so it's going to get masked off. You can see there, that's the line I'm drawing. It's not exactly yeah, so what we're going to do here is just gonna, I'm not going to paint underneath the model at the moment, like on the bottom, so where the where the hard edge is there along here. I'm not going to paint past that for the time being, so I'm going to use the top or that as a mask because everything else is below it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to carefully applying air and ever so slightly pulling back in the treat until the paint starts coming out, and I'm just going up and down to get a line started. Blow that out. Just pinch something right off the needle, fingers. Shot here. Slowly working your way across the nose. It doesn't matter if you go over a little bit because you're going to mask this up anyway later on. So that's pretty much your outline. So from the top on this line, you're basically just colouring all this area blue now. So still being gentle because we don't want to make the pre-shading disappear. Little bit by little bit. So doing that way, you get like a really nice clean edge. You're not getting paint underneath. So if that makes sense, you're spraying down onto it, not spraying beside it. And then we get closer to the line. Just colouring far enough in. And this thing's apparently white, the circle here. So I'm not even going to bother painting into it. Don't need to, don't have to. So same on the other side here. It's moving around too much. Just roll the paint in the back, steady it off a bit. So what you want to do now? And you keep working with taking your paint because it dries so quick unless you put a retarder in it to slow it down. If you want a smoother finish, you're spraying large area, you want a smoother finish, yeah, I do advise putting some of the retarder in there. Because what happens is you're spraying the paint and it's hitting the model wet. You get that nice glossy, well not glossy, that nice flat finish. You won't get that powdery look. Alright, so so we turn this the right way around. So what we want is a line. So you can see the main middle of the aircraft there, that real, this big, large, dark area. That's the part we're going to be doing now. So 1, 2, 3. So it goes from here somewhere. Through, yeah. Up. There. Here. Some goes here. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm basically just trying to mark out where these camo bands start and finish. So if I don't put them down first, it's going to be very messy. So I guess just above that circle. So where's that one? It goes through there. And then So that's kind of the pattern. Now if I put the airbrush down, whoops, give you a look at what we're trying to achieve here. So I'm just basically trying to draw it out, not just using the airbrush, trying to draw it without colouring in straight away. So you draw the outline first and basically try and fill it in. Right, so that's what we've done. So now you want to make sure, well, I want to make sure that the tips are nice and clean. And they build up with paint. And all we're doing, once again, check spray pattern. Make sure this paint's coming out nice and not getting splattering effects. Just try and cover the patchiness. Then when I put the wash down, the pin wash, it's pretty much going to disappear. So it's going to bring all those colours together, hopefully. Just double checking everything, making sure that we've done it all. So now I'm going to pick up the plane from the side. I'm just going to carefully just blend the top bit with the bottom. I'm just going to carefully just draw some random squiggly marks. Bringing the two levels together now. Same with the other side. You don't have to go too far on the underside there. Just like that, so it's just popping underneath. Okay. So just on the bottom here. Do something random. And what have we got here? On here, we've got some in here. So alright, now we've got a bit to do on the sides, on the wings. So let's, what we're going to do here basically goes up to here somewhere. So whatever lines you draw on here. So we've got overspray onto the back of the model. What you want to do is just get a bit of card like that. Okay. Bring some shots for you a bit more. Just there. So what's happening? You can bring the airbrush back past the tail, and you're not going to get any overspray on the back here. So keep it all nice and clean. Oops. I need to raise this a bit more. Just need to raise it because of the water trap in the gun here. Just can't drop the gun low enough. So hopefully you can see that. Drop it squiggly. You want to just actually meet up and like that. Okay. So a bit more to a really thin line. You just so. And you're going to do the other side. It's a lot simpler. So from these three little prongs, you just basically make the prong, bring a little line down. Okay. Double checking everything. Good. You see that it's coming along quite nicely. So far, I'm pretty happy with it. So I guess I'm just going to go back to some reference pictures on the inside. So what I'm going to try and do, what I may as well do, is I'll just do something on the side that's similar. So that's going to be something a bit random in there. As we spray this paint out, just double checking. What's the bottom look like? So avoid spraying the bottom, just get to turn on the side so none of the spray airflow will actually touch the bottom here on the wingtip. By doing that, you turn her over on this side, there's no paint underneath, as you can see. It's on the top, on the side. Okay. So when you're happy with it, blow the paint out. Cotton tip. going to put some X28 in this cup. I'm going to swish around. Try to break up any loose paint that's on the edge of the cup here. Let's see that. So, oops. So just in case that we have loosened any of the crappy paint that's on the edge, I'm going to tip in this cup. Clean off any excess. Dab a bit more in there. Give it a bit of a shake. Make sure you're holding on really good. Just spraying her out. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going to have a quick break. Yeah, so if you want to skip forward, I don't know, 5 minutes or something, feel free to. So I think next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, keep your eye out on, I think, Saturday, it'll be Sunday. I work out who normally posts out. It'll either be Dutch modelling or it'll be Paul from ISM. He will be posting another link on the Facebook page, and normally they're uploaded on YouTube as well. So once the hangouts are normally done, normally immediately after they're done, they're uploaded on YouTube, and they're normally, so if you subscribe to Paul or Dutch Modelling, you can also go to their channel, the YouTube channel, and you can watch the hangouts live via YouTube, and they normally are tagged with an 18+ tag on it, because they're not really, I guess they're not really episodes of our normal channels. They're just all of us getting together and just building, talking, having fun. But what I'm getting at is, I think it's not this weekend, so today is Friday here for me, so not this weekend, next weekend. The boys are thinking about holding a, it's not a competition, like there's no prizes or anything, it's just a fun thing that we're all going to do. So we're going to, and I've spoken about it before, but I just want to advertise it because I think it's going to be a really good thing to watch, because it's something I've never taken part in, and it's yeah, it's just going to be something that I've never taken part in, and it's going to be a 2-hour build. And basically, it's you've got to, I don't know the exact rules yet. Paul's still going to refine all the rules. So what is and what isn't allowed. And so it's basically going back to old school. So basically, when you're a kid or when you first started modelling, it's going to be a 1:72 scale kit of anything. So as long as it's 1:72, I'm pretty sure it has to come under a certain price range. So I think Paul was saying it's got to be under a tenner. So it's UK pounds. So you guys in Australia, or I'm not too sure what it is in euros. I don't know the conversion rate from euros to pounds. And then for you guys in the States, or Canada, I think Canada's a bit more than the States, but our dollar is pretty much similar to the American dollar at the moment. So it'll be, I think it's about, a tenner is probably about $18 or something over here, 18 Australian dollars. It's got to be 1:72 scale, no airbrush. So if you want to prime your paint, you're gonna have to prime your model. You're gonna have to apply it with a paintbrush. And I have asked a question in one of the hangouts whether we're allowed to use hair dryers or heat guns to accelerate the drying time of the paint, because you've only got 2 hours. You've only got 2 hours to assemble it and paint it and decal it and done. Like you've got 2 hours to do it. So what I'm going to build is a Hobby Boss. I'll just get rid of this out of the way for a minute while the paint's drying. Wow, this rain is really coming down outside. I'm really excited about this. It's a really good day to be inside too, because you can't really do anything else. So you may as well just shut all the doors. I had the music cranking before. I was painting the Tornado. Forget what it is. It's a Hobby Boss easy assembly kit, and it's basically it's a quick, an easy kit, like a quick kit, but it's meant to be ages 14 and up. I mean, a 13-year-old could really build it. I don't see why a 13-year-old. Yeah, because I was building kits like this when I was 8. But I think they're more worried about the small parts, choking hazards and things like that. So the wing itself is, I mean, that's it, what you see on this tray. And it's the only Hobby Boss kit I've ever bought. And everyone's saying they're quite good. But for the scale of this thing, that's it. There's nothing else. It's just what you see in the tray. So it's very well packaged. And I've had this. It's a 2000. I think. Was it? If I just check the date on this again, I read it out this morning last night to Hendrik. 2005. So it's 19 years old. Oh no, sorry. 2014. So 9 years old. 19 years old. God. Yeah, it's. I feel so old. But yeah, that's the box art there. It's just a little, and I'm pretty much going to paint up the way it is. I mean, I like the colour scheme. It's browns, greys, and a bit of yellow. No masking, so it's going to be fine brush. I don't think there's any decals for that yellow. Nope. It's going to be very fine brush. And looking at it's going to be a nice, easy paint job as well. So I'll be able to get that done in 2 hours, I think. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Without jinxing myself. The instructions are quite simple. So it's really your parts list here. You've also got assembly, so you've got 7 steps. I mean, yeah, it's pretty easy. So basically, your wing and the bottom part of the fuselage is all one piece. So you've got no joining wings. Just a bit of cleanup, getting rid of the mold lines and things like that. But looking at this kit, there is no flash on this whatsoever. So it's basically a tiny bit of sand down just to clean up the edges, and yeah, glue it together. And it's recessed panel lines in here really well. There's a bit of landing gear bay details inside, and very simple cockpit glass. But there's no spidering. There's no mold line on the thing. So it's, I mean, this is the only thing you got to cut off is the front tag on here, on the front of the cockpit, and the back. Just a bit of a sand down there. The fuselage itself feels like a very solid piece in the middle here. like it's all solid throughout the cockpit here. And the cockpit's already inside, so you've got to try and get in there with a small paintbrush. That's going to be tricky without an airbrush. So it's going to be thin paint. And then very, very nice detail actually. If use the webcam, the detail's not going to be that clear, but you can see the recessed panel lines. And on the tail. And then the other sprue here, which comes out careful. Yeah. Very careful not to break anything. So you got the two stabilizers on the back here. They're also very nicely detailed. No flash. The wheels are one piece. The air intake, the bomb, the nose cone or the prop cone. And what else we got here? We've got the tail, the landing rear tail, and the exhausts. And it's a very, very nice kit. So this will go together quite quickly. Hopefully, it's looking at it now. You could have all this cut out without rushing it. You could comfortably have all this cut out and glued together. I'm thinking 20 minutes, half an hour tops. That's including cutting, cleaning, and gluing, sanding and gluing, and then you let that dry. And it shouldn't take long. You've got 2 hours to do it. So then I'm probably allowing maybe 10 minutes for the glue to dry. I'll be using Tamiya Extra Thin, and that dries really, really quick too. And yeah, it's basically priming it. If I can use a decent sized brush with thinned out paint, or I may even have a practice throughout between now and then just to see what paints dry really quick. But I'm going to be using a heat gun anyway, a Bosch heat gun. So that'll speed up the drying time dramatically. So I can almost pretty much start hand painting, brush painting it. The only reason I'm using a heat gun is because using an airbrush to apply your primer, it's drying as well because you got air onto it while it's on the model, so it does take long to dry at all. You can like when you're airbrushing with the Vallejo polyurethane primers. A lot of people recommend it, to dry overnight before you start painting it, but I mean it's a 2-hour build. If I hit it with a heat gun to an airbrush, normally you can paint within about 10-15 minutes, spraying on top. I don't want to brush painting. I'd leave it a bit longer because you're actually rubbing the paint, touching the paint surface. But airbrushing, you can just generally, if you're base coating, you normally do it in about 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. So hence is why I'm using the heat gun. I'll be drying that up and then hopefully brush painting within about 15 minutes. And then once all that's done, it'll be, I don't know how I'm going to clear coat it. That's going to be the tricky part because I want to decal it. So what I might do is where the decals are going, I'll just get some and I've got to experiment too because I haven't really brush painted many clear coats. It's normally airbrush. That's what everyone does nowadays anyway. So I'll be experimenting with some old crappy decals I got laying around. I'll just practice on a bit of painted plastic card and to replicate a painted surface on a kit or a wing or whatever. I'm just going to practice brush painting with a few clear coats I've got, so that way I can sort of, because I don't want to be wasting time or something doesn't work and then I've got to wait or redo it. So I'll be practicing that, put the decals down, and I'll be brush painting again, and then I'll hit it with a coat of clear again over the decals, and then I'll let that dry, and then I've actually got a 50-50 mix of Vallejo polyurethane gloss clear and Vallejo polyurethane matte mixed into a 30ml dropper bottle. That's 50-50. That gives me a really nice satin varnish, and I'll be finishing this off in satin varnish, and where the ties are and I'll probably just run those bit of matte over that, matte clear, and then she'll be done, guys. So it's going to be a really fun build, I think. I'm looking forward to it. And there's a colour guide there, colour call out. Very easy to understand. It's nicely coloured, so you can't really go wrong. So that's the kit there. Thought I'd talk about that while the paint's drying, and while I'm having a quick little break. Okay. Yeah, really interesting to see what Paul brings out. The only reason we're doing it next weekend is I think Mike Cohen, he won't be available this weekend to do it, so it's being postponed till next weekend. So it's going to be really interesting. And I've got a funny feeling that Mike is going to build a tank of some kind. Mike's a bit of an armour bloke. Hendrix, I think, is the same. What Paul's going to build could be an aircraft. Paul's a bit of an aircraft bloke, and I'm only guessing at this stage. I'd say Sebastian, Dutch modelling. He's a bit of an armour bloke himself, so he'll probably pull out some magical 1/72 scale armour. Who else normally? And I'm only thinking of the regular crew that I'm with on the weekends. I mean, the crew changes all the time. Blokes are on there all the time. Like different guys that you meet. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Keep your eye out. Also, keep your eye out. There's going to be plenty of links up around the place, and if you're not subscribed to either Paul or Dutch modelling, I mean, yeah, do it. They've got some really good channels, but I'll definitely share the link via Google Plus, so you can. I'll share the YouTube link as well, so you can all watch it, and you may probably be able to comment, because either one of the two boys normally has a question and answers box open. So you can always just ask questions either on YouTube or Facebook chat. Yeah, so that's going to be actually looking forward to it. Hopefully I don't have to work, but it will be a Sunday morning for me. So if you guys are, I mean Benny, if you're watching, there's a couple of other blokes. Any guys in Australia, anyway, put it this way, any of you guys in Australia who actually want to watch the build live, it's going to be a very early start. And I don't think most of you guys will get up. You'd probably say screw that, but it generally happens for me on a weekend. I've got to be up at 4:30, anything from 4:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning to be in the same time, or while they're on, because the time zone's completely different between Australia and the UK, as you all know. But yeah, so it's going to be about 5 o'clock Sunday morning. But who knows? We might speak a little bit of shit to begin with, just to have some fun, get ready, talk about the rules and what we can and can't do, and then most probably we'll kick off a bit later on, maybe about 5:30, 6 in the morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off this the light. I'll start from the light blue on this thing, and then I'll probably end this live build, because I want to break it up. And if not, I'll paint this. I'll end this live build, and it'll get uploaded as SU-34 live build number 3, and then the next stages probably later on, this afternoon. I think it's still on early here. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, so so it would be now. It'd be like 6 a.m. in the UK. So I think the boys will just be waking up. So I'll probably hound them later on, a couple of hours to join. And I've got the whole weekend off too, so it's going to be a pretty busy weekend modelling. So there's going to be lots of videos going up, guys. And I'll start up another one, but I dare say in the next live build that happens, we're going to have a few guests, and we've got a viewer. So if you want to ask any questions, let me know who you are too, because I don't know who's watching. It's pretty good. If any mates of mine, it's pretty good to say good day. But yeah, so what we're going to do is I've got this life color, bright blue, and it's very, very light blue. It's almost a grey blue, slightest tinge. So going through the instructions here, this is the actual one I'm doing here. So we've done all the dark blue, laid all the base coat down with all the pre-shading underneath it, and I may have to go over touch paint it up later on, but we're going to show you all that. The light blue is actually where is it? So the dark blue, or the medium shade you can see here, is the steel grey from that we applied earlier on at the start of this build, or start of this video actually. Steel grey from Game Colour, 72102 if you want the number. But it doesn't have to be Game Colour, it's just, yeah, that's the closest thing I've got to it out of all my paints, so I just use that. But then the light stuff here, or the very light shade, is going to be this life colour. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to give this a shake up. Now, if you want to, whoever's watching, feel free to ask any questions. I do have the questions and answers box open. Actually, I better open up. So I don't know if you're watching via YouTube or G+. So I'll just drag another box over. And I'll just open up the YouTube page, and just bear with me for a minute. Channel. Shut it off. So I do have the YouTube window open at the moment as well. So yeah, you can leave a comment down below whether you're watching by YouTube or on the G+. Oh, Stefan, how you going, buddy? So just gonna give it a shake. And this paint is quite thick as well, so I'm going to grab some light colour thinner. I've just decanted that. It comes in. Let's see if you guys are curious on what it is. If you're watching this later back on my YouTube channel, it's just light colour acrylic thinner. And because it doesn't have a dropper bottle of any type, it's just a cap, so it makes it really, really hard to get out of the bottle. So I've actually decanted it. I've actually got it in one of the many spare dropper bottles I have. Just going to crack open back in this airbrush again and clean the tip out because there's a lot of crap on there. Put the cap back on and run a bit of thinner through this, spray it out. And this light colour paint is actually quite thick, so I'm going to mix up enough. If I have too much, I can always chuck it back in the pot. Like, I'm not really that fussy with if I put any paint in the airbrush. little tip all out. It's, yeah, the cup's pretty clean, so I generally spray matte really well. So we just got a little eyedropper here, pipette thing. I'm gonna suck a bit of paint up. And I'm just gonna douse a bit in there. And just sucking this thing in and out. Just mixing the paint this way. It just gives you a good idea on how thick the paint is as well, the way it comes out of the eyedropper. So it's going to need a bit more. And then just give it a little stir. Suck you up and down. And then get rid of all the crud out of it. That way it doesn't dry inside. And then doing the cap, because knowing my luck, I'll knock it over. And the whole thing will get spilled. And I actually bought this paint, I think bought this down in Brisbane as well, so if I lose it, I'm going to drive 2 hours to get down there and get some more, which I'm not going to do. And then just have a quick test spray, nice and thin. To get this really thin line that I want, take the cap off the airbrush. So now I'm just going to quick squizzy. Jam instruction sheets up here somewhere. So let's pick this plane up. What I'm going to do, because I can't see squat what I'm doing, I'm trying to spray light blue onto white paper, so it's impossible to see. Way too thin. Spread it out. Grab some more paint. Yeah. And another thing is to with the life color paints, I actually bought a border pot, which is really handy. I haven't used it, which I should have used, because if you don't want to make too much paint, or if you want to add too much paint, life color actually do make a, where is it? It's not it. Where are you? It's a thickener. So if your paint's too thin, yeah, life color should make a acrylic thickener. You can add inside, so thicken your paint back up again. So that's good. Just give it another stir. There. Spray test. So it's still sputtering, which I don't want to do. So we'll give some of this a go. This is all trial and error too, so I don't really have a set recipe for, because all my paints are different. I generally thin most of my paints out in the pots as well, so they'll last a bit longer. Basically, this is just a medium. That's thick. Yay. It's too thick. is thick. So I'm doing sucks on this painting. This is way too much in there. What's in it? Let's do. Okay, that's a bit better. Do. So all we're doing is just tracing on the outside edge of this dark blue and just filling in this medium blue here. This is still too thick. Let's do. I'll tell you what, this light colour thickener works. Works really well. Probably too well. Just whack it on there. Q-tip here. Dump a bit of thinner on there. Clean off this needle. We're in business again. This one here, we're just going to do a little bit right here. You can see how I finally get that line. So I've taken that cap off. This is a 0.2 mil in this airbrush as well. You see it's almost like a Sharpie pen thickness. I don't recommend doing it if you're a beginner, but my fully experienced blokes out there, or if you've actually been airbrushing for a while, yeah, it's fine to do, I guess. But still, I don't really recommend doing it, because if you blow your needle, that's it. Your airbrush is done. So drawing a pattern on there. Fill it in. So the tail here is going to be white, so I'm going to leave that. We're going to mask that off later. Once all the paint's fully dry, we can mask that off with a bit of tape, because it is a cylindrical area. We can just wrap around there neatly. There shouldn't be too much dramas. So just going over again. this middle bit here's got to be filled in. Also, you can see inside there is a dark patch within this light blue, which is the original medium blue that we laid down. So we're going to leave a gap there for it to show. So I'm going to fill in that whole area in. So you can see from this front stabilizer wing here, we paint that white or the grey, leave a bit of patch there, and just leave a trail in there. So what we're going to do to make it easy for yourself is, it doesn't have to be exact. Like I'm not going to lose any sleep if I sort of miss any of it. Keep this in shot. So just carefully, ever so slightly, pull it back on the trigger, just a little bit of paint out. You don't want to hammer this paint out of the gun. And just keep going back to your reference on the instructions. What we do. So it comes out to, that comes at that far in the middle. Okay. There, all the way out. See there, we've just drawn, sort of filled with that white shape there. And everything around it now from, okay, we'll do the same thing over here as well. So there's another one over here. So we're going to draw that before we fill that in. So where's that go? There's a gap there, starts there, bang, to there. So, once again, don't have to be exact. Camouflage is all random anyway, guys. So that's, we're not going to be painting in there. That's going to be staying that medium blue. Carefully trace. I just want to trace. I generally spray inwards. If you go over it a little bit, doesn't matter. Just keep moving the plane around so you make it easy for yourself. So I can get that in shot for you. Now that you've done that, you can now just double check. You always double check your drawings. You know which area you're filling in. Now that filling in, make sure the needles clean. Just zoom out a bit so you can see it a bit better. Okay. Alright, so we're just filling it in. And what I'm trying to do as well, I'm trying to keep the spray pattern in front of the dark blue, because if you spray it this way, you get overspray on the dark blue, which you don't want. You don't like masking up, which I don't like doing. Probably like a little tip I can give you. Just oops. Just gonna make it a bit thinner in this. It's starting to get thick again. Oh, come on, work with me. So taking your time. So that little beeps, that little Facebook thing in the background, that's for Sebastian, Stefan on the chat. If you're watching Seb, g'day Seb. What's going on here? There's a big white bit in the middle that you've got to do. And so, again. Drop this paint stuff in. Give it a shake up. Yeah. Make some thin through here, spray it out again. Ditch that. Bit dry. Yeah, this wet weather I'm having over here, so it's just absolute killer on the paint today. It's just taking forever to dry. Okay. We got that. So. Paint this thin, I'm going to have to do it in a couple of layers. Let's chuck the table on the back there, so I'm going to put the overspray. Just put one little drop. Doesn't need much, I don't think. Just a little bit too thin, I reckon. Suck it up and down. Get that paint mixed in there. Try again. What's that? Weird. Friday. It's actually going to take a bit to get this. What I might do too is that the rear of this tail boom is going to be white. I'm just going to spray some of this light blue just so the white doesn't have to work as hard to blend to go over it. Gives a bit of a lighter coat to start off with. It's very thin paint, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to take a few. Obviously on the end here. Go all this in. Okay, so that's done, done, done. A little bit of there. this is getting tricky. This bit here actually requires, we'll get a smaller mask now. Just a bit of old plastic. So what it requires here is let's look a little bit here. Where does it start from? This live colour is pretty hard to spray. Fine with the too thin. That's done. So I'm just going to replicate that on the other side, the inside. So do exactly what you've done on the outside and on the inside. Roughly the same here, which is what's that? Just going over the whites, and the rest of the cleanup will just be going over it again with the medium blue. And we should almost be done, just to let it dry. And then any touch-up work that needs to be done, we'll go over it later. clean up all this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Well, this colour actually looks white when you put it on, but when it actually dries, it's actually, yeah, really nice. Really cleansing really well. Let it dry. Couple of minutes, and just clean out all these airbrushes. This airbrush here. Oops. Yeah, I don't know. This stuff's funny. Maybe it's just my airbrush, Stefan. It's either too thick and it has trouble spraying, and I'm spraying it at 20. I think it's 25 psi. And then if I make it too thin, it spiders. So, and I haven't really used light color all that much. I'm still pretty new at it myself, so it's all a learning curve for me. But I find that if I'm spraying like large areas, like a tank or the entire thing, it sprays nice. But when it comes to detail work, yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble with it. Maybe it's just this color. It's the bright blue RLM 65. Yeah, it's just that one there, Stefan. It's, hang on, put this down. How today? Now more the camera picks it up. It's pretty blurry. Yeah, bright blue. But yeah. So, show some makeup pads, remover pads, clean out all the crap that's in the hopper. Yeah. the paint's been sitting in there for a while. That sponge, just give it a little scrub. Yeah, all it is just a bit of sponge, a kitchen sponge thing, scrubber, and using my just some old crappy eyeliner brush handles. I've actually ripped the tips out of some of them because the tips are just flogged on them, so chucked them out, and I've kept the handles, and I've just used a bit of epoxy resin, got a bit of wire, tied the sponge head on it, and then glued it on. Then once the resin was hard, I just took the wire off, and I've got a decent little sponge to scrub out my hopper on the airbrush. And that works really well. And you just chuck on a bit of paper towel, let it dry, and yeah, a bit more thinner. Have you a day off today, Stefan, have you? Well, don't tell me you're sitting in the excavator watching this. What we're going to do now is, this is the tricky bit. Get some, where is it? Some glue thinner. A bit in there. And a bit, make sure the nozzle's all clean. Okay, how much do I need? No. Just get the thumb out of the thing, give it a shake. Make sure the thumb's over there really tight. I don't want this going everywhere. Pull down tight and pull back. Yeah. Just trying to blend in some of these lines to the 3 feet above. I only want it just visible. just be careful you don't get too carried away, and with the blue and everything just disappears. And on the screen, in the dark blue section, it looks like there's no pre-shading underneath it all. A bit of a splatter there. Clean that up a bit. Yeah, it's actually there. The white, it's very, very ever so faint. I guess it was a really hard colour to lay down. I think I probably put the base coat on too thick in those areas, so I should have left it a bit thinner. So I'm just going to carefully spin it upside down. And just get some. So, doing the same on the bottom. Just trying to tone it down a bit. You can see how sharp all those panel that pre-shading is. It's just way too dark. It just doesn't look realistic. So I'm just going to light misty coat. Remember, this paint's pretty thin too, so. You want to just be able to see it, like you don't want to, like if you're straining your eyes to see the pre-shading, that's what you're trying to achieve. You don't want it just so stark that it's there, you can just see it without even, it just doesn't look right, so just keep going. Just starting to get there, getting there. So this thing's not really going to come to life until I start putting washes on there, on the weapons, all the landing gears. So at the moment it still looks pretty plain and boring. What time is it over there, Stefan? Was it? Must be early. Or do you only do work a few hours? Sorry. So if any of you guys are watching this back later, I've actually got Stefan Wallen watching this right now, but once this is uploaded, I'll actually put a link to his channel. He's a very, very talented modeler, and the work that he actually produces is really, 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 it's just mind-blowing. It's one of the guys I actually look up to when it comes to building armor. I've only met Stefan not long ago, this year actually. He's a really nice guy too. So if you ever get a chance to be on the Hangouts while he's on, he doesn't say much. Yeah, Stefan definitely doesn't say much on the Hangouts, but when you watch his videos, I'll put a link to his channel if you're not a subscriber of his. It's definitely worth watching. His photo etch work is just incredible. So really do appreciate Stefan actually sticky beaking and seeing what I can do. And then Sebastian Dutch Modeling's actually at work in his truck, trying to get out of there, get out of work, or go home so he can build. Sebastian's a very, very funny dude. Very raw. Yeah. Yeah, funny guy. Glad I met him as well. He's a crack up. Makes me laugh. Starting to get there. Push this back a bit. Put a mask on there so I don't spray my bench. Yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. When you start to strain, you sort of think, well, have I gone too far? That's where you got to start slowing down on the paint. You don't want to get too carried away, because as you've seen in the very first live build that I've done on how long it actually took to appreciate this kit. Now all the work that you've done previously, if you do go over it, so you do get too carried away with it, and that's just, yeah, you've wasted all that time for nothing. So I think we're going to stop. Always have a look at it from a distance. And any bit that you think that's still too dark, it just needs a little quick pass over. Nothing too much, nothing too drastic. Down here. On the pylons here. Going over. Just being careful that you don't get it on the wing itself and drown it. Okay, so that's pretty much done there, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry for a while now, because as you've heard me say a few times in this live build, we've got very wet weather over here at the moment in Australia. It's been raining for the last 24 hours, and it hasn't let up, but it's good though, because everything needs to be green and my horses are getting hungry. Yeah, so we're just going to a little bit here, a little bit. And so what we're going to do is I think I'm going to call it quits here for this video. And this is mainly a video which is just basically doing the camouflage on this paint job. I'll get all cleaned down, and I think I'll have something to eat. Yeah, so I think that's this video done for the day. And the next one, I guess I'll be on in a few hours when everyone else in the UK and wakes up. And hopefully I'll see you this weekend, Stefan. Just, yeah, I know you've been busy with your family doing stuff. It'll be good to see you again this weekend. So what I might do is just clean up a bit. Actually, I might let this dry for a while, because I haven't been on for very long at all, so I may as well just keep going. So that's how it's. Let me put the airbrush down. I'll just whack the cap back on here so I don't drop it and damage the needle. I can find the damn thing. Hey, let's see the cap. There it is. So put that nail down. I'll just give you a squeeze. So it still looks pretty rough. There's still a lot of cleanup to do on this plane, but the white's probably a little bit too. Well, it's not really white. I think it's just the lighting and the camera. Like it just, like on my screen that I'm looking at the moment, that looks white, but it's actually, it's like a grey, very light blue grey. So it almost is a white, but it's, yeah, it looks really, really strong on screen when I'm looking at it. And then I flip it over, it's on its belly, and you can see the difference. So if you want to go back through the very first video, I think it was only a video a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, something like that. Well, there's a good example here. So we've gone from that, from what we originally started with, from all the pre-shading, from there all the way down there. So that's what you're trying to achieve. You don't want, basically, you don't want to be able to see that. It's supposed to be very, very faint. So if you can achieve that by squinting and straining your eyes and just seeing it, yeah, that's the finish that you want. So well, actually, I am going to let this dry for a while because I don't want to bother it anymore. So I'll let this dry. I think I'll get cleaned down like I was saying before. I'll call it quits for this video for the time being, and I think I'll be on the Hangouts in a couple of hours with the rest of the boys speaking garbage. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and hope you've learnt something from this one, or just interesting if you're just in the background just building, having this background noise. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Catch up. See you, Stefan. See you, Seb, if you're watching. Bye.